Hi guys, this is Ray Say on Way, and this is part 3 to the Deku had Danny Phantom's power. Where we last left off, Deku was about to finish the UA exam. At the end of the exams, Deku has total 90 villain points and 50 hero points. Deku takes Uraraka to Recovery Girl to get her healed. When Recovery Girl is healing Uraraka, Deku is about to get ready to leave, but before he leaves, everyone looks at him in surprise that he destroyed so many robots so fast and with ease, and dealing with a 0-point robot. After Deku flies home in 3 minutes, his mom asks him how is the exam. Deku tells Inko it was actually easy. Inko tells Midoriya looks like your training paid off. Inko tells Midoriya to keep up the good work. Deku nods his head in agreement. A few days have passed. Deku's looking through the mail. Deku sees the letter from UA. He decides to go into his room and see the hologram version of All Might telling him that he has total 90 villain points and 60 hero points. Deku realizes he's able to go to UA. He shows it to his mom and they start celebrating. Another day has passed. Deku enters the UA. Deku starts a speed walk down the hallway trying to figure out what class. He then starts sticking his head through the wall till he finds 1A. When Deku gets to class 1A, he's wondering why is the door so big. But before Deku walks inside the classroom, he decides to stick his head in and see what the kids are like. Once he sticks his head into the wall, he sees Bakugo and Ida having an argument. After Deku realizes who's arguing, he sighs and realizes he might have to deal with that problem. After a few minutes, Deku decides to open the door. When Deku walks to the door, everyone begins to look at him. When Bakugo sees Deku, he has a grin on his face, but he's saying, finally, some competition. Bakugo yells out, so you're in this class? For a second there, I thought it was going to be a cakewalk. Deku tells Bakugo it's kind of weird that we're in the same class. Ida walks up to Deku and introducing himself as Tenya Ida, and telling Deku that he was a better student than him. Deku asks Ida, what do you mean by superior student? Ida told Deku that she knew all along about the hidden motive. Deku tells Ida thanks. Ida cuts off Deku, telling him, how could I have been so blind? We are in a hero school after all. Ida begins to look around and basically wonder, where's the other kid? Deku hears someone say, excuse me. He looked behind him and it's Uraraka. Deku tells her, oh, am I in your way? Sorry. Uraraka tells him, no, it's cool. Hey, have we met before? Before Deku can explain how they met, Ida walks over to him asking him, hey, have y'all seen the white-haired kid? Kaminari stands up and says, wait, what white-haired kid? Tokoyami looks at them and says, are you sure he's in this class? Now I bet you're wondering, how does Ida know that Deku saved someone but doesn't know his face? There are 2 reasons why. Number 1, Ida overheard some teachers talking about this kid named Izuku getting a total of 50 hero points. The second reason, most of the exams, Deku was intangible or speeding past through Ida. Mr. Aizawa will be coming through the door telling them that they're his homeroom teacher, pulling the gym uniform out of his bag and telling everyone to meet him outside. After everyone leaves the changing room, Deku decides to transform before he puts his clothes on. Once Deku gets outside, Aizawa tells him that this is a test to see how far their quirks are. Uraraka asks, what about orientation? Aizawa tells him that this school does not run by tradition. He also tells him that he runs his class how he sees fit. Aizawa tells Deku, since you came in first, how far did you throw a ball in middle school? Deku tells him over 75 meters. Aizawa tells him, try throwing a ball with your quirk this time. When Deku throws a ball, it reads 850. Mina shouts out, we're going to be able to use our quirks. This is going to be fun. Aizawa tells everyone, whoever comes in last will get expelled. Uraraka tells him that's not fair. We worked so hard to get here. Aizawa tells him not fair. What about power-hungry villains or natural disasters? When it came to the speed portion of the test, Deku got first place. When it came to long jump, Deku got infinity since he could just float over it. When it came to the grip test, Deku got first place. When it comes to the ball throw, Deku begins to case the ball in electricity, begins to throw it. When it came to the ball throw, Deku got second place behind Uraraka, getting infinity. At the end of the day, Deku decides to walk home, but Uraraka interrupts him. Uraraka tells him that I didn't recognize you from your black hair, and I want to say thank you for saving me. Deku tells her, oh, it's nothing. Ida walks up to Deku, telling him you have a very interesting quirk. Uraraka cuts in and says, yeah, that quirk is very unique. The next day is the hero versus villain test. For Deku's hero costume, it'll be a shirt like this, but red and yellow in the middle, black jeans, and sky blue sneakers. When everybody sees Deku, they're asking one question, where's his costume? Uraraka walks up to Deku, asking him, where's your hero outfit? Deku tells her, this is a part of my outfit. Deku tells her, don't worry, you will see my hero costume when it's my turn. Uraraka tells him, I bet your costume gonna be pretty cool. Uraraka tells him, I bet your costume will be pretty cool, cooler than mine. Uraraka also tells Deku, I never really knew what I want to add on to my hero costume. Deku looks at Uraraka, telling her that your costume looks cool too. Deku tells her, I also like the theme of your costume. Uraraka blushes a little bit. Ida tells them both to quiet down so All Might can explain the test. For the hero and villain test, everyone will get the exact same partner. Uraraka tells them, looks like we're partners. Before the test begins, Ida wants to think about a plan to deal with Uraraka and Deku. Bakugo doesn't care about the plan. He decides to go on his own. We cut to Uraraka and Deku before the test. Uraraka asks Deku, do you think we have enough time to memorize this map? Deku tells her, yeah, I think so. When All Might says to go, Deku decides to transform. Uraraka tells Deku, I like her costume. Izuku tells her thanks. Before Uraraka opens the door, Deku tells her to grab his hand. After Uraraka grabs his hand, they begin to phase through the building. Everyone in a waiting room looks at Deku in amaze. When All Might looks at Deku, he's thinking, Izuku might have a similar quirk to Mirio. Todoroki's thinking to himself, what is his quirk? The reason why Todoroki's thinking about this because during the test, Deku was seen floating. So Todoroki's thinking that he has two parts of his quirk. And if you guys don't know what I mean, just think of how Todoroki's quirk works. Todoroki thinking that Izuku's parents might have a floating quirk and an intangible quirk. Kirishima says they're probably going to get to the bomb in no time. Sue begins to say they're moving pretty fast. Kaminari begins to ask who's faster, Izuku or Ida. Momo begins to wonder, so he can allow others to use his quirk. They begin to float and phase through the floor until they find Bakugo. Once they stumble upon Bakugo, Deku tells Uraraka to go find the bomb. Uraraka asks, are you sure? Midoriya tells her, I'll be fine, just go on ahead and find the bomb. Bakugo jumps out the corner telling Izuku, are you gonna fight me or die like a coward? Deku puts his hands up and tells Bakugo, I don't know, you tell me. When it came to the fight, Bakugo using his explosions and Deku using his fist. The reason why Deku's not using his powers is because he knows his main goal is the bomb. When it comes to Uraraka and the bomb, everything goes normal in canon. Deku's thinking about how to deal with the bomb until he gets an idea. When Bakugo goes for a right hook, Deku decides to grab his hand and turn him intangible. After turning him intangible, he decides to throw him through the floor. Before he leaves, he makes Bakugo's hand stick through the floor. After he does that, he decides to jump through the building and see where Uraraka is. After he finds her, he thinks of an interesting plan. He decides to grab Ida's legs. He wants to make Ida sink to the floor. Once Ida noticed it, it was too late. His torso was on the floor. Once Ida tried to get himself free, Uraraka already touched the bomb. Once that happens, All Might declares the hero team wins. Everyone cheered for Uraraka and Deku. At the end of the day, Bakugo yells at Deku saying that he wants a rematch. Deku tells Bakugo maybe another time. We cut to the next day. Aizawa is telling everyone to pick a class president. Izuku has been chosen to be a class president with a total of 3 points. And for the vice president, it will be Momo, with a total of 2 votes. Deku will not be nervous about this, he'll mostly be surprised. Izuku tells everyone he'll do his best. During lunch, the alarm suddenly goes off. Deku asks what's going on. The kids stop to tell him that a villain has entered the school. Once they get to the hallway, Deku gets pushed to the window until he sees the meteor. After Deku sees the meteor outside the window, he begins to float all the way to the exit sign. After Deku floats to the exit, he tells everyone to calm down that it's a meteor. After that, we cut to the USJ. On the way to the USJ, Sue is asking what is Deku's quirk and how does it work? Since many people asked that question, Deku was able to make up a good lie. He tells her a short answer and he says ectoplasm. She responds with, like the hero. Once they meet the Pro Hero 13, villains start appearing from a portal that's in the middle of the USJ. Kirishima responds with, I didn't know we were gonna fight villains too. Aizawa tells them no, these are real. In the process of Aizawa dealing with the villains, everyone in the classroom gets teleported to a different location, including Ida. Izuku gets teleported to the shipyard zone. A villain tries to attack Izuku, but Sue comes in and saves him. Once they get on the ship, Izuku explains what his abilities are. After explaining, Izuku decides to make 7 clones. All 6 of his clones decided to help the other students. The last clone went invisible, left the building, and decided to go get All Might. After taking them out the shipyard zone, Deku decides to jump inside the Nomu to stop him from crushing Aizawa, holding the Nomu in place until All Might gets there. After that, everything goes normal as canon.